the big news about you. Kim Kardashian West wants to become a lawyer.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Right.
That's a good thing.
Well, a lot of it is thanks to you, because you introduced me to the attorneys, Jessica and Aaron,
Yes.
that I have been working with weekly, seeing 18 hours a week, studying with, pretty much crying with, It's a lot of hard work.
Why are you doing this? People are just so surprised to hear it. Talk about the reason.
Yeah, well, when I did go to the White House and when I learned so much about the system and what is going on deep into the system, I was honestly so surprised. I really had no idea how broken the system is, and I just figured if I know more about the system, I can do more for the system, and that's just the type of person that I am. It really interests me. It's completely taken over my life.
Yeah. What does the family think about this? I mean, is Kanye mad? I mean, is this like taking you away from...
He might be mad because on my weekends, I just need to study. During the week at nights, there's a lot of time where I'm just like, babe, you have to take the kids. And he's really stepped it up, and I'm so grateful for him for doing that, because we made this decision together as a family where I said, you know what, I have my full-time filming job, I have my beauty business, I work full-time, and I'm gonna take on another 18 hours a week that's required. And I think honestly, when I saw the response from people, some people just didn't really understand how it works.
Right.
And I think people assume that I'm just prepping for the bar and not actually studying or going to school.
Because so people understand, you're not going to a regular law school. You're actually apprenticing, basically going back to the old school way of doing it, apprenticing yourself, studying, working with the real lawyer on a regular basis to be ready to take the bar exam.
Yeah, so you have all the same textbooks that you would in law school, all of the same assignments, except for you have more tests. You have a test a month, and you don't have a teacher there explaining to you it, so I have to watch lectures online. You really have to kind of figure it out yourself with them guiding you and really step up and do the work.
What's your response to people who say, but you're just taking a shortcut? You should just go to law school like everybody else. Why not do it that way?
Well, it's really not a shortcut. Anyone that thinks this is a form of privilege or because I have money, they assume that this is the easy way out, but this is actually a system that was provided for the complete opposite, to be accessible to people that actually don't have the means.
You've had very interesting reactions. You have some people who say, go get them. It's great, to see a young woman stepping forward and doing this. You have other people who go, I don't really see how you could be a lawyer.
Well, I didn't really see. I either saw like super positive or even 10 times worse than It was like either or. And I think, you know what? Yeah. It's like I've always been super supportive of women and people around me that have wanted to succeed, and I don't really have the energy for the I think you can do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it. It is so hard. It's not an easy thing to do. Just start supporting people. If someone wants to do something positive, just what does it bother you?
Yeah, exactly. How about that?
Be supportive.
Support good people. Support good people. I'm for that. One of the things that I was curious about is your sister's reactions. Is there going to be like a Kardashian competition? Are they going to become like engineers and like one's going to be like a rocket scientist? I mean, is this going to be like some whole new Kardashian thing?
I wish. They're really smart. They should. But no, it's been a lot of, group family chats of, oh, this happened. Kim, what do you think? What should we do? Or, my cousin slipped. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So the landlord has a duty to, make sure that the floors are clean after the rain, and you can sue, and so a lot of it is like family advice, and it's really funny.
You come by this honestly. People forget your father was a lawyer, not just a lawyer, one of the best lawyers in the country. Talk about the impact of growing up with your dad as an attorney on your thoughts about a legal career.
Yeah, I've always been, it's really interesting also that I chose to start this apprenticeship with social justice attorneys. I mean, I could have gone in the entertainment field. You could do it in any field that you really want to. And so I chose this because I saw my dad's passion to do the right thing and to just, he would always want to help people. And I just was so intrigued and so into it. And it's, I wish my dad was here to see it. He would be totally rooting me on.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's just, it's in me. It's what I love to do. And I think no matter what it is in life, if you just, I also love to do makeup. I also love to do fragrance. It's like, I don't want to be put in a box if you only have to do this because this is what people think of you. I saw a comment where someone said, you need to stay in your lane. You can have ambitions, but don't be too ambitious. Mm-hmm. And to me, that was that kind of like, shut up and dribble comment to where it really, I read it to my husband in bed and I was just like, this will even push me harder.
Yeah.
So,
There is this thing happening, though, in this town where people are getting caught with their hands in the cookie jar trying to use their privilege to get into schools, putting money on the table, doing all kind of dirt. I mean, somebody in your position, how do you think about that? How do you have so much access. How do you use it to help your kids but not abuse it? Have you had that conversation about all this nonsense going on where people are buying their way into schools? And
I think as a parent, you have to let your kid, like for me, I would never, if they couldn't get into a school, I would never want to use privilege to try to force them into a situation that they wouldn't thrive in anyway. So that's where I just see that is not appropriate. It's just when you have so much accessible, so many things that are just presented to you, I want my kids to be kind. I want them to be as grounded as possible, and to buy your way into something just wouldn't benefit anybody.
Yeah.
And I think, working hard, and to me, even having my kids see me studying, leaving and going into an office, few days a week, studying all the time, coming home, I have my backpack, they have their backpack, they're studying, I'm studying, and them seeing that I have this, filming career and I'm having makeup samples tested all over my arm while I'm, trying to read my flashcards and all of this stuff. I hope that they get inspired to know that they can put in the hard work. And even though I'm in my late 30s and I'm just finishing college or attempting to do that now, it's never too late, and there really is no easy way out. I've always worked hard, and I hope that my kids see that work ethic and want to do the same thing.
When you went to the Trump White House a couple of times, even though you came out with people who have been freed, you still got criticized. What about the legitimate part of the criticism, though, that says, hey, Trump is snatching babies from their mom at the border? How do you come to peace with working with an administration that has some really negative human rights check marks on the balance sheet?
Yeah, well, people do write me. I think every time there is an issue going on in the White House, which is pretty often, I think that people, I see on Twitter people writing me all the time, Kim, do something, do this, do that. And I have been very honest with the administration. I've been very honest with everyone, from Jared and Ivanka to everyone in the White House, about how I feel about immigration in particular, and we've had the conversations. The reality is I can't do everything. I'm not in that position, and if I can change people's lives in a different area, I have to focus on that. And I have definitely voiced my opinion on other things and requested things in other areas, but
haven't been able to be as effective there. Do you,
yes.
you still talk to Trump?
I do have a relationship with the White House, and we're still working on a lot of, hopefully, more clemencies, and there's a lot more that we're working on, and I'm definitely not one that's afraid. I know I got so many times people would say to me, don't go to the White House, your career will be over, don't go there. And I just kind of weighed the decision where it was like a life, to save a life, or to get maybe bad tweets about me or a bad news story for a few days. I guarantee you the people sitting behind bars do not care who the president is. They just want that relief. And so if I could have done that, I don't care.
Speaking of the White House, we got an election coming up, and I'm just curious, is there anybody in the Democratic, we got I don't know, 4,000 people running. So, you know.
Yeah, there's way too many people. It's way too early. I am just focusing on, I have a new baby coming in 3 weeks.
Hey.
I have some stuff going on. I'm going to wait till it's further along before I make a decision.
Speaking of babies, 4 babies. You're going to have 4 small people and these, like.
4 babies under 5.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
My babies are so cute and so sweet. I honestly, it's my favorite thing to do in the world is just, well, except for last night. Kanye is out of town and my son was in bed with me, and I have a pretty big bed, and I was like pretty much on the floor in the middle of the night. Yeah, they move all around. But no, I love being a mom. I have such a big family myself, and I couldn't imagine life without my siblings. And so I really want my kids to have that support system, because I found in my life it's been how I get by in life. So I really wanted that for my kids.